Minimum wage. A minimum wage is the lowest amount of money that employers may legally pay to workers.
Currently, the federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour, and some states and cities have raised their minimum wage even higher than that.
Supporters of the minimum wage say it increases the standard of living of workers, reduces poverty, reduces inequality, boosts morale, and forces businesses to be more efficient. In contrast, opponents of the minimum wage say it increases poverty, increases unemployment, particularly among unskilled or inexperienced workers, and is damaging to businesses, because excessively high minimum wages require businesses to raise the prices of their product or service to accommodate the extra expense of paying a higher wage.
Minimum wage laws affect workers in most low-paid fields of employment and have usually been judged against the problems of reducing poverty. Minimum wage laws receive less support from economists than from the general public. Despite decades of experience in economic research, debates about the costs and benefits of minimum wage continue today. Various groups have great ideological, political, financial, and emotional investments in issues surrounding minimum wage laws. For example, agencies that administer the laws have a vested interest in showing that their laws do not create unemployment, as do labor unions whose members' finances are protected by minimum wage laws.
Some arguments for a minimum wage are the positive impact of small business owners and industry. It removes financial stress and encourages education, resulting in better paying jobs. It increases in job growth and creation, increases the standard of living for the poorest and most vulnerable class in society, and raises the average. Increases incentives to take jobs as opposed to other methods of transferring income to the poor that are not tied to employment, such as food subsidized for the poor or welfare payments for the unemployed. It also stimulates consumption by putting more money in the hands of low-income people who spend their entire paychecks, hence increases circulation of money through the economy.
Some arguments against minimum wage are that minimum wage alone is not effective at alleviating poverty and in fact produces a net increase in poverty due to disemployment effects. Another is, as a labor market analog of political economic protectionism, it excludes low-cost competitors from labor markets and hampers firms in reducing wage costs during trade downturns. This generates various industrial economic inefficiencies. It hurts small businesses more than large business. It reduces quantity demands of workers, either through a reduction in the number of hours worked by individuals or through a reduction in the number of jobs. And it may cause price inflation as businesses try to compensate by raising the prices of the goods being sold. It also benefits some workers at the expense of the poorest and least productive ones.
Some fun facts about minimum wage. The annual income for a full-time employee working the entire year at the federal minimum wage is $15,080.
There are currently 0 states where a minimum wage worker can afford a 2-bedroom apartment working a 40-hour week.
The number of times Congress passed legislation to increase the minimum wage in the past 30 years is 3 times.
As of January 1st, 2015, the number of states, including District of Columbia, that will have raised their minimum wage above the federal level of $7.25 is 30.
The number of states that annually increase their state minimum wage to keep up with the rising cost of living, or that have scheduled annual cost of living adjustments to begin in the next 3 years, is 16.
The percentage of Americans who support gradually raising the minimum wage from $7.25 an hour to at least $10 an hour, is, according to a June 2014 poll, is 71%.
The range of the victory margin in favor for minimum wage increases across the 4 states. It is 55 to 69.
The federal minimum wage for tipped employees, such as waiters and waitresses, nail salon workers, or parking attendants, is $2.13.
The end.